Jake Harrison had everything. At least, that's what the world believed. At 32, he was the founder and CEO of Harrison Tech, one of Seattle's fastest-growing technology companies. Built from nothing but determination and sleepless nights, the company had become a billion-dollar empire. His name carried weight in boardrooms. His decisions shaped markets. But success had come at a cost. 5 years earlier, Jake had lost both his parents in a tragic helicopter crash. One moment they were there, his foundation, his quiet support, and the next, they were gone. Grief doesn't always scream. Sometimes it silences everything. Jake chose work over mourning, growth over healing, numbers over memories, and slowly, without realizing it, he built walls no one could cross. Before continuing, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel for more kindness stories and leave a comment to help me to improve my work. Let's continue. Jennifer, his loyal assistant of 6 years, saw what others didn't. The late nights weren't just ambition. The silence wasn't just a focus. The success wasn't fulfillment. It was an escape. So she took a risk. She arranged a blind date with her friend Monica. But she was careful. She didn't mention Jake's wealth or status. She simply said, "He's a good man, just a little lost." Jake resisted at first. "I don't have time for this," he said. But Jennifer didn't back down. "Then make time," she replied, "for once." And somehow, he agreed. The restaurant was small, warm, and unpretentious. Jake sat alone at the table, slightly uncomfortable in a setting so ordinary compared to his usual life. Minutes passed. Then the door opened. Monica walked in, slightly out of breath, apologetic, holding the hand of a little girl. She scanned the restaurant, and her eyes focused on Jake. Then they went toward Jake. "I'm so sorry," she said quickly. "My babysitter canceled at the last minute. I didn't want to cancel." Jake looked at her, and instead of irritation, he felt something unexpected. Understanding. "It's okay," he said with a soft smile. "I'm glad you came." He glanced at the child. "And I think I have a new guest." Monica smiled. A real one this time. "This is Lily." Jake crouched slightly. "Hi, Lily." She gave a shy nod and whispered, "Hi." And just like that, the evening changed. What started as a simple dinner became something deeper. Conversation flowed. Not forced, not rehearsed, but honest. Jake learned about Monica's past. A promising law student. A devoted daughter who gave everything to care for her sick mother. A woman who lost both her parent and her partner within a short span of time. "When I told him I was pregnant, he left," Monica said quietly. No anger in her voice, just truth. "I didn't have time to fall apart," she added. "Lily needed me." Jake listened in silence. For once, he didn't try to fix anything. He just felt. And Jake also found that Monica worked hard as a waitress in a local restaurant to be able to pay rent and bills, and also had enough time to take care of Lily. After nearly 3 hours, Lily began to drift off to sleep. They decided to leave the restaurant. Jake paid the bill and offered Monica a ride to their home in the parking lot. Monica initially refused, but when Jake pointed to Lily sleeping in Monica's arms, Monica agreed. Jake drove them to their apartment, which was old and in a modest but safe neighborhood, and after making sure they were safe, he left. The next morning, he went into the office to meet a worried yet curious Jennifer. Jennifer eagerly asked how it was. Jake smiled and said it was beyond my expectations. "Thank you." In the following days, they met again and again. Walks in the park, coffee after work, evenings when Lily insisted Jake join her imaginary games. For the first time in years, Jake's life wasn't just about goals, it was about moments. He laughed more, he listened more, he lived more. Monica, too, began to change. The constant tension in her shoulders softened. She allowed herself to trust again, slowly, carefully. But when she eventually discovered who Jake really was, everything paused. "You're that Jake Harrison?" she asked. He nodded. "I didn't tell you because I didn't want it to matter." She studied him, then said something simple but powerful. "It doesn't unless you let it." Jake began using his influence differently. He created programs within Harrison Tech to support single parents, scholarships for women returning to education, flexible jobs for those balancing life and responsibility, not for publicity, for the purpose, because now it was personal. One quiet evening in Monica's small apartment, Lily was drawing on the floor. Jake sat beside her, helping color a house. "Where's the dad?" he asked gently. Lily looked up. "You can draw him." Something in Jake's chest shifted. Later that night, after Lily had fallen asleep, Jake stood by the window. "I used to think success meant building something big," he said softly. Monica stepped beside him. "And now?" He looked at her. "I think it means building something real." Weeks later, Jake planned something simple. No luxury, no grand stage, no media, just meaning. He took Monica and Lily to the park where they had spent so many afternoons together. It was early evening. The sky was painted in soft gold and fading blue. Lily ran ahead, laughing. Jake turned to Monica, his expression more vulnerable than she had ever seen. "I've built companies, made decisions worth millions," he began. "But this is the most important thing I've ever done." He took a breath. "When I met you, I didn't know how much I was missing. Not success, not achievement." He looked toward Lily. "Family." Monica's eyes filled with emotion. Jake reached into his pocket, not with a flashy ring, but a simple, elegant one. He knelt. "Monica, I don't just love you," he said quietly. "I admire you, I respect you, I believe in you, and I would be honored to be part of your life, both of your lives." Lily, who had quietly walked back, looked between them. "Is this the part where you say yes?" she whispered. Monica laughed through tears, then looked at Jake. "Yes," she said. And just like that, a man who had lost everything found everything again. Life didn't become perfect, but it became real. Jake still led his company, but now he went home earlier, to laughter, to warmth, to love. Because in the end, success wasn't what saved him. Kindness did, compassion did, love did, and a small, unexpected moment turned into a lifetime.